Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, November the 2nd, 2021. Today's daily Bible reading come to us from Psalm 18, 20 through 30, Ruth 3, 1 through 7, Acts 7, 17 through 29. Or you could have read Psalm 51, Deuteronomy 28, 58 through 29, and then 29, 1 rather, and then Acts 7, 17 through 29 again. I'm going to take a look at the text from Acts and talk about Stephen and this time where he had this awesome opportunity to tell the Jewish people all about their own history. So Stephen, since you've read the book of Acts, you already know that he was originally selected to wait tables with several other guys about his age that were deemed, worthy enough. And it's because there was this whole controversy going on where the Hebrew people and the kind of Greek-speaking people in Jerusalem that were all followers of the way didn't feel like food was being dispersed correctly, that some of the widows and orphans of the Greek-speaking people were getting kind of short shrift. And then, but the apostles were like, oh, we're much too busy to deal with this. So go pick some guys that you all respect, and we'll choose from among them and set them to the task of making sure everybody gets what they need. So Stephen's one of those people, and he's just originally selected just to be a waiter, but he becomes much more than just a waiter. We're told that God moved in him so powerfully that he actually became this great evangelist. He may have even been doing a better job than the rest of the apostles. And then, when you start doing what Jesus says and you start doing the things that Jesus did and that he told you to do, the things happen to you like kind of happened to Jesus. He runs afoul of the leadership in Jerusalem, just put it that way. And then he's kind of brought up faced with these trumped up charges of blasphemy. Well, when he's brought to trial, so to speak, he ends up reminding the people that even brought him to trial of their history, like the story of their faith and how God's people, their ancestors, had this history, this uncomfortable history of kind of rejecting the very people that God sent to help them. And so part of the story he tells is the story of Moses, and he introduces Moses by saying he was beautiful before God. So what does that mean? What does it mean? What made Moses beautiful before God? Well, I think part of it is actually what Stephen goes into. He talks about there's something about Moses's heart and what he cared for and the concerns that he had. He was moved, is the way Stephen explains it, and also the way you see in Exodus, to defend the oppressed, the people that that belong to God, but also just were being oppressed by people who had power. He may not have gone about it in the best way. I'm not saying that if you see oppression and injustice, you should handle it the way Moses did. But the drive was definitely there, and he stood against the powerful Egyptian in defense of the weaker Hebrew. Now, yeah, granted, it's because he identified with him, but that's not a bad thing either, that you should identify with people who are suffering. It's called compassion. But then the interesting thing is when it came to demanding that these Hebrews deal with each other in the same way, they're very eager to push Moses aside and then just even throw back in his face what he had done the day before. It's the desire for justice might make you beautiful in God's eyes. And here's the truth of this. And I think what he's kind of telling his accusers, the desire for justice might make you beautiful in God's eyes, but don't expect that the world is going to be happy about it. Even the very people that you try to help will likely push you aside. But you got a decision to make. Are you going to follow the way of Jesus? Are you going to do what Jesus has asked you to out of love for him? Or are you going to be worried about getting pushed aside? You going to be beautiful for God or not? Anyway, that's the DBR for today. Get out, enjoy the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you later. Boop.